Hello everyone and welcome back to Brown Coat Reviews. I'm your host Laura. Now before we get started with all the amazing comic books, trade paperbacks, omnibuses, and more that are going to be released this week, I wanted to announce our first 500 subscriber giveaway. We're going to do two separate ones. The first one is for those who are subscribed to the channel and commenting on these videos. We are giving away a copy of not just Nonstop Spider-Man issue number 1, this is the Ken Lashley variant cover, but this cover has been remarked and signed by the artist Ken Lashley. It's absolutely gorgeous. I know this probably is not doing it any justice. Let me just say it's even more beautiful in person. So, to qualify, subscribe, like, comment, share these videos. We are definitely trying to grow. And this is our way of thanking you so much for helping us grow and giving us that amazing feedback so that way we can give you even better content in the future. Now, just like last time, I do have the timestamps down in the comments section. So if you're only interested in the key issues, the new series that are starting this week, the trade paperbacks or the omnibuses, and my new kind of other category, you can immediately jump to those very quickly, get to the content that you need, and then comment down below. Starting with the key issues on the ongoing series. Stray Dogs number 5. This sadly is the epic conclusion of this series. If you have not been reading Stray Dogs, please make sure to grab the trade when it is released. It has been absolutely phenomenal and I can't recommend it more. It is definitely dark and twisty, but the dark and twisty with these kind of cute Disney-like characters just adds a whole different level to that story. This is the conclusion, but I am really, really hopeful that there's enough of a open ending so that way we get a volume 2, because I don't want to end this story anytime soon. Next one we have is Detective Comics 1038. So with this one we have two different stories in one issue. We have the Neighborhood Part 5 and then we have the March of the Penguin. In Neighborhood we have Batman versus Mr. Worth, and then we have Huntress trying to save Lady Clayface. A lot of people are very excited about this title. I am a little behind on Detective Comics, but someday I will definitely get caught up. Amazing Spider-Man number 69 is going to be released. So this is part 3 of the Chameleon Conspiracy. And in this one, you have Spider-Man and his sister Teresa are both trying to determine and unveil this amazing conspiracy. Web of Spider-Man number 2 is coming out this week. Everyone online has been talking endlessly about Web of Spider-Man number 1 and trying to find copies of it. So if while you're at the comic book shop and you see issue number 2, look for issue number 1. If you can see it and you can find it and you can get it for retail, grab it immediately. All the copies in my area are sold out, but I'm still on the lookout for it. Something is Killing the Children number 17 is going to be released this week. We talked before about issue 16 starting a new story arc, and in this one we're getting more of that origin story of Karen Slaughter. So this is kind of continuing that and showing her progression as a character to then get to the parts of the story that we are a bit more familiar with and piecing together some of the history. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 118. Shredder is returning. Never a bad thing. Homesick Pilots number 6 is actually starting a new story arc. So in this one, you have the military that is wanting to weaponize these walking ghosts. And they are seeking the assistance of the homesick pilots and hoping that they're willing to, sell out just a little bit so that way they can get this newfound technology weaponization. We'll see what happens. We have two major tie-in events that have been going on for the last couple of weeks. We have the Hellfire Gala, and then we have the War of the Bounty Hunters. For Hellfire Gala, there are several titles that are going to be released this week included in that. You have Wolverine number 13, Way of X number 3, and Sword number 6. For the War of the Bounty Hunters, you only have one issue being released this week, and that is Star Wars Darth Vader number 13. The new series being released this week. The Summer of Spawn has officially begun, and I am so incredibly excited. Now, there are a total of 6 covers that are being released. 4 of them are done by J. Scott Campbell, 2 are done by Todd McFarlane. There is, of course, a exclusive variant of the kind of sketch black and white of one of the Todd McFarlane covers. Of the original 6, I couldn't pick between all 6 of them, so oh darn, all of them are coming home with us. I have been dying for this release for a very long time. Cannot wait, and I can't wait to talk to you all about Spawn all summer long. It's going to be great. So Infinite Frontier from DC Comics takes place sort of after the heroes have saved the multiverse from the Dark Knight's Death Metal series and put everything back in order. However, some of the allies are still missing. So we now have a new team of multiverse heroes called the Justice Incarnate. Another DC title is Batman Reptilian, #1. Now this is a Garth Ennis series and Liam Sharp. Originally, I wasn't going to grab this, but the hype about this title has already started to build. The concept behind it is there is something dark and creepy lurking in the shadows, and it is scarier than Batman. And this dark creature is hunting down the villains of Gotham. And the villains are no longer even frightened of Batman. They are terrified of whatever is lurking and hunting them in the dark. Should be really amazing. So DC's Wonder Woman Black and Gold is going to be released. So just like with all the other series, it's a collection of different artists, different authors, different stories, of course, beautiful artwork. This should be released in time for Wonder Woman's 80th anniversary. So great little title if you're interested. The next one is DC's Checkmate #1. This is written by Brian Michael Bendis, and this is a super spy group that's on a new mission to take down Leviathan. So you have Mr. King leading, and then you have Superman, Talia al Ghul, Robin, and a cast of thousands of other characters. They did say that they are going to introduce a new underworld assassin known as Checkmate. We have heard and read about Checkmate before, so I don't know if this means that instead of a group called Checkmate, we're now getting an individual person called Checkmate. If maybe they came and somehow they're connected together, I don't know. All it says specifically is that they are in essence introducing a new character, but with the same name of another character that we've seen before. So don't ask me for the logic. Could be a brand new character, could be just a repeat of something else. I just tell it like I see it. So another big one being released this week is Marvel Voices Pride. So this is just continuing the Marvel Voices series. We had colored voices, we had women's voices, and now we're having voices from the LGBTQ community. So of course we are celebrating Pride Month, and this is going to be a collection of short stories done by varying artists and writers, and has some absolutely beautiful covers and variant covers. Marvel Heroes Return #1. So in essence, this is taking place after the Heroes Reborn series, and this is where you have the Squadron Supreme facing down against the Avengers. Gamma Flight is another Marvel title. So this is a spin-off from the Immortal Hulk series. And in this one, we have a conglomeration of characters from that world. We have Puck, Absorbing Man, Titania, Doc Sasquatch, and Dr. Charlene McGovern. Image Comics is also releasing vinyl #1. So in this story, you have a serial killer named Walter, whose best friend, who's also the FBI agent who caught him, who has been taken hostage by a death cult of women who are sunflower farmers. And now Walter has to dive into this sort of underground labyrinth filled with secrets and monsters. Dark Horse is releasing the new series of Black Hammer Reborn, issue #1. So this is, of course, a Jeff Lemire title. This is taking place 20 years after the last Black Hammer series. Our main character, Lucy, is now married. She has children, however, her marriage is on the rocks. Her job is at a dead end, and she has not picked up her hammer in the last 20 years. So now we're starting to find out some of the history of why she has not picked up the hammer, what happened in her life, and how all these events are starting to affect her current life and her family. Dark Horse is also releasing Imogen of the Wording Way. In this story, hundreds of refugees are fleeing the spread of Nazism to a nearby forest, but they never return. So our main character, Imogen, is going to collaborate with a young man who's seeking his refugee family, who's also gone missing. And instead, Imogen is now going to be confronted with some of the worst sides of war and how those conflicts have a direct impact on those in need, and it's making her question what she's really fighting for. So the next one released by Behemoth Comics is MFKZ. So this is actually a Netflix hit series, and this is now kind of crossing over to this oversized issue number 1 comic book. It's done by the legendary artist Run, and in this story you have our main character Angelino and his flaming skull pal Vince, who live in a gang and cockroach-infested world called DMC. And in that city, you have just as many secrets as you do weird inhabitants. The next one is Titan Books, V.E. Schwab's Extraordinary Number 1. So this is done by New York Times bestselling author V.E. Schwab, and in this one we have a new anti-villain story. So after surviving a deadly crash, Charlotte Tillis becomes extraordinary, and now she can see your death before it takes place. When she looks into her own death, she sees the face of the notorious EO killer, and he stares back at her. IDW is releasing the Sonic the Hedgehog 30th anniversary special. 30 years since Sonic the Hedgehog has been released, there will be 3 separate issues collected in this one series. If you're a fan, definitely make sure to grab it. Trades and hardcovers that will be released this week. We have Ice Cream Man Volume 6, which will be $16.99. We have Future State Justice League trade paperback, which will be $29.99. Silk Out of the Spider-Verse Volume 2 trade paperback, which will be $34.99. X-Men Epic Collection Mutant Genesis trade paperback, which is going to be $39.99. Then you have Green Lantern John Stewart, a celebration of 50 years hardcover, which will be $39.99. DC Through the 80s, The Experiments, hardcover, which will be $49.99. Marvel Masterworks, The Uncanny X-Men Volume 13 hardcover. It retails at $100. 2 different covers that are available. However, if you get this through organicpricedbooks.com, I've got the link down in the description box with a referral code. If you use the referral code, you get $2 off of your order, and I get $2 off of my order. So we both benefit from this one. Trust me, there are some amazing hardcovers, omnibuses, and they guarantee that anything that you order is going to arrive in the exact same condition that they received it in. And when they inspect the trade when it arrives, if there's so much as a little ding on one of the corners, they sell it as a near mint, just below pristine. So they guarantee that a pristine copy will be sent to your home. Free shipping if your order is over $30. Really amazing deal. For the omnibuses this week, we have the Justice League The New 52 Omnibus, which is, of course, a hardcover, retails at $125. If you get this one through organicpricedbooks.com, it is $85. Use the $2 off referral code, linked down in the description box, and it will be $83. Free shipping and handling, you can't beat the price. So I told you that I had sort of a miscellaneous category for you this week. That's because we've all heard that The Long Halloween is going to be released in the DCU animated universe. Part 1 is going to be released as of June 21st, 2021. You can get it on Blu-ray, DVD, or digital. As far as I'm seeing, it looks like it will not be released on HBO Max. They may change that. But as of right now, Part 1 at least will be available this week if you are interested in that title. The last one I wanted to tell you all about is a Kickstarter, actually. It ends in 3 days. So by the time I probably get this posted, it'll be 2 days left. So you gotta move really quickly on this one. Sorry. For this one, it is a 3-part series. The cool thing is, if you back a physical copy of this comic book, you're guaranteed to get all 3 books. So all the different rewards that they've done because of all the funding that they've received for this comic book, some of those rewards included physical copies of issue number 2 and issue number 3. Those have already been unlocked. The extra bonus that I can't wait for is they actually hired the 2 writers and artists from Stray Dogs to do a special, 2-page issue at the back of issue number 1. The other thing that I think is really cool is one of the options when you're kind of backing this Kickstarter is you can choose whether you want to be written into the story and kind of drawn in, or if you want your pet to be drawn into the series. Could be really cool. I read through, of course, the description, and I looked at the art, and I looked kind of at the preview first 2 pages. It looked amazing. So yes, we're definitely getting a copy. I can't wait to get it. And then, of course, absolutely, I'll review it for you all. But if you are interested in Kickstarters, I've got the information below. It sounds amazing. So I wanted to make sure to share that with you all kind of while I had your attention. But that's it for the week. So let me know down in the comments, are you grabbing any of these titles, or is there certain things that you would prefer that maybe I highlight next time? So this is Laura from Brown Coat Reviews, and I hope you enjoy the beginning of our Summer of Spawn. Have a great day.